Good evening and welcome back to FTRL. I'm Junkie Sport, and tonight we're coming from Sardegna B in the GT1 class, which is the touring car equivalents. For the first race and qualifying you've got me on my own, and then hopefully I should have a special guest turning up for races 2 and 3. Should be quite exciting if anything like last night was to go by with the Porsches. Got a little bit feisty in places, but hopefully not too bad in this race. Pagani there just tapping off his own teammate. Aaron will not be happy with that one. Taking a while to get back on track. Keeping out the way, I think he's going to the back of the field, get some clean space, clean air, and then go again. Only 8 minutes of qualifying and just over 5.5 minutes of that left. So Aaron's already lost this lap, so he's on his back foot already. T Smith's going to be the first one over the line, I think, with the fast lap. I think a lot of people found it difficult last week with the cars that they've got, working on the Blue Moon infield, getting what they wanted from their cars. From what I understand, though, everybody enjoyed it, which is the main thing. So we've got a 23.5. followed by Blue Flag with a 23.6. Rom's jumped in with a 23.2. Artemis has had a bit of a problem there, not as much as Aaron has. So we've got about 4 drivers there that have sort of lost out on that first lap. Good evening to everybody in chat. If you want to ask anything, please chuck it in the chat, and I'll do my best to read it as well as look at the racing as well at the same time. Switchback has gone round. He currently sits in 9th, he's 2 seconds off the pace. Unsafe has had a good quali. He's managed to get it up into 5th. The last season's champion from GT2. Where Aaron's just knocked him down with a good lap. Qualifying is very important round here. There is realistically one decent place to overtake, which is the end of the main straight, turn 1. But if you can force your opponent into a mistake, there's those odd little places you can sneak up inside or go round the outside on some corners, to be fair. Oh, I'm privileged.
Shalom.
Shalom. My special guest has turned up a little early.
Yeah, you messaged me literally just as I got in the shower, so...
Oh, is that what it was? There's a picture
Yeah.
you've left me with. Thanks very much. I was hoping you were sitting at the table eating chicken, but...
No.
No. How are we, Michael?
Not too bad, not too bad. Last night was fairly decent, you know, in terms of racing, so... Especially with the GT4s with the touring cars we've got, I expect it'll be some fairly decent racing. They're all fairly close on pace.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it's not too far off. I mean, Pagani's just gone into 3rd.
Pagani's at 23.5.
Yeah.
Now, I know Pagani's putting a lot of effort into this season, so I'm curious to see what the competition's going to be like with himself and Tom, because over the past 3 seasons, Tom's made himself the person to beat. He's took the past 3 championships back to back, so... And Pagani himself, he's a 2-time champion, so I think Pagani will be trying to equal that this season to be the driver with the most titles for GT1.
Yeah, I mean, for the previous seasons, Pagani's just gone for the approach of if he can just win one race each season, he's happy. But I think this season it's the point of that he wants more than one. So we'll see how he does.
Because we all know Pagani's got the pace to do it. It's to put the practice in that obviously it's going to take a lot of time, especially with the amount of practice you see the likes of Tom putting in, and unsafe Elise who puts in as well. He's a reigning GT2 champion, but he's moved up to GT1, and I'll tell you now, there's no way that he's going to practice any less. Unsafe will be practicing more than what he used to do.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Unsafe will be getting stuck in.
That's it. It's a bit of a shame, really. I think Switchback's having a bit of a problem. He's another one that came up from GT2. Not really sort of gelling with the car, is he? From what I can work out when I've spoken to him.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem so, but so give him a couple of weeks. He should be able to adapt, hopefully, because we all know Zach's not a bad driver.
No.
Obviously, you're going to be a good driver to get into GT1, but just take a little bit of time, get used to the car, get used to everyone he's raced under, then we'll see the proper Zach that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the problems Zach's got, and love him to bits, but one of the problems he's got is that I think he pushes too hard, and I don't know whether he's got inside his head that, particularly at the moment, Unsafe is further up than he is, and you still see that competition with that GT2 racing that we had with them two in it, and I think he might still have that on his mind that he's got to be Unsafe, and he hasn't. He's just got to improve. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah, with GT1 you're not going to come in and immediately start being competitive at the front unless you're godlike. So
yeah.
It's more of a sense of you get in, you get your feeling, and then you steadily work your way up. And you see that with the likes of Formula 1. You don't see the likes of Lando Norris, Alex Albon and George Russell jumping up from F2 with a winning all the time and go, right, I'm going to win in F1. It's a thing of get used to it, build up the speed, build up the consistency and the confidence, and then you keep pushing so further up the field.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's picked up a penalty as well. Oh,
that final corner is so difficult to get right.
Yeah, I know.
Guilty of that myself.
I know
I'm
that.
Guilty.
I watched the replay last night and I noticed I got picked up a couple of times for having a penalty on there. But to be honest with you, you can be a millimetre further over. It's made no difference to your racing line at all, and you'll get half a second penalty for it.
Yeah, the penalty system can be a bit weird on this game. Sometimes it can
Yeah.
be quite harsh. Sometimes it can be quite lenient. But obviously, you've got to go qualifying from Rom. He's put it up on pole. Pagani is actually in front of Tom by over a tenth.
Good to see that. Good to see that Lennon's taking this seriously. He's dropped into second place and also messaged us as well to say that he did a fast lap. Well, now you've got to do 15 of them, mate. So if I were you, I'd crack on. So
we'll see what Lennon's capable of.
That's it.
I don't know if it's much, but we'll see.
Well, no one jumped the start, which is a bonus because last night got a bit repetitive.
Well, Tom's flew from 4th to 1st already, and we're on the run down to turn 1, so it's a fantastic start from Lennon.
Yeah.
Pagani's up back 1 position. Lennon!
Let's use the grass.
You were saying, Carl, about Lennon.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a quick first lap, he's down to 14th.
That's it. Darbolt takes the lead. He's managed to pull out 1 second. He had a good run last week. He had a couple of misdemeanors, which knocked him back a little bit, but he did pretty good, I think, last week.
So hopefully we'll be looking to try and pull that performance into this week now. I did watch all 3 of the races last week, but my brain's the size of a pea and I've completely forgot everything. I know we had Aaron winning a race or 2, which
Aaron won.
put a damper on my spirits.
You love him, really.
Aaron got saying chicken and a can of Coke.
I won't be saying that tonight, mate, as you so kindly jumped in. Yeah, SBY, you are watching, but I gather you're working or dating or whatever you're doing.
Well, that's
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You might have a lady or a fella.
Oh, well.
I don't know.
I'll leave that as a mystery for you.
Yeah, and everybody else. Hashtag.
Well, Iggy and Lee both picked themselves up a penalty at the end of the first lap, so that's not good for them. But Iggy in 6th place, there's a bit of a gap forwards and behind him, so he's got a little bit of work to do.
But nice to have that space where he doesn't have to keep looking behind. I suppose he can work on blue flag in front.
Yeah, it gives him more mental capacity to work with. Obviously, you're not focusing on trying to affect the car behind, but it gives him that freedom to look forwards instead of constantly focusing on what's behind.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than having someone's nose keep popping up beside you when you're
we've got Pagani right up the chuff of Rom.
So Pagani's just lost a place because he was in 2nd, so Rom's managed to squeeze past somewhere.
It doesn't look like Pagani's given any signs of letting in. He's
no.
Position up in front of Tom, and I think he wants to make that too.
Wonder if he made a mistake somewhere, but Bolt has been caught, and he's getting caught very quickly. We found last week with that Subaru, it's got no punch getting out of the corner. It just doesn't go. It doesn't build up. It just sort of gets to a point, and that's it.
It seems that Bolt's having a bit of trouble with that final corner because you see him running quite wide to the apex, and he's still keeping it within the track limit. So it's going to be costing him a fair bit of time, and you can see that as Rom's.
Yeah,
seems his way past. And
straight past. That's a fast little Peugeot, that as well.
He's definitely showing it. And now Darkbolt's going to have Pagani to contend with.
Pagani won't want to hang around behind Darkbolt. He'll want to get past, but Darkbolt he's a bit of a fighter, so
he doesn't like to give in. Obviously, Ron will be happy with this position he's in. He's got a car separating himself and Pagani. It's going to give himself a little bit of air to breathe with. Obviously, if with Darkbolt you say he's quite a fighter, obviously that's going to hold up Pagani even more.
Indicator on by Darkbolt, he's let Pagani go past.
Yeah, I think you can just tell. I don't know if it's a thing of him struggling with the car or if he just knows it's not the right battle to fight. It's a bit of a strange one. It's really early in the race and he's letting through for a second.
Yeah, sensible head. Maybe he's gone for Pagani's the faster car. They're going to lose Rom if they fight. Let him pass and see if you can just get onto the back of him. And just, I mean, 3rd place is good place. That's the thing. It's
you can't complain with being in a higher position. But I think one of those things that I think a few drivers might need to think of is instead of just going safer position from lap 1, you need to think about that overall race time, what's better for you in the current situation, and then try and get the best out of it so you're not holding yourself up too much, and then think about fighting as hard as you can near the end of the race, so you're not putting yourself in an awkward position earlier on, and then it's going to affect the race down the line.
We've got T. Smith having a look at blue flag.
We do indeed. It's a three-way battle for fourth, both blue flag, Tom and Iggy. So Iggy's
caught up.
He's gap. He'll be looking to try and find a way through as soon as he can. And we all can see that he's in the high and high, which if I'm right, I don't think he'll like that car, Carl.
Moving on.
I know what you're saying.
Right, so there's Lennon back down in 7th after being so close to being 2nd.
He's got City Posh right up the back of him as well. I think he's the lead of the BMWs.
Yes, he is, yep. So we've got a little train there, so...
It's quite a long train from, I'd say, P7. He's got Lennon and then comes right down to Artemis. It's only about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, so it's quite close between the whole grid, it seems. So I think we've got Zach going for Ross on the straight. Just for P11, they're both side by side.
Yeah. Aaron's at the back trying to catch up. Complete turnaround from last week. I didn't see what actually happened to Aaron. He's, I'm wondering whether he got caught up in that first corner. It was a bit of a
possibility.
It was a bit of ricochet going on there, wasn't it? Car onto car onto car. So who knows?
I don't know if that's Aaron flashing on purpose or if he's just pushing as hard as he can, but he's flashing his lights quite often.
I've got to be honest, he takes the mickey out of Lee like anything for those thumbs, but I think that's Aaron's problem as well. Yeah.
Pushing the stick down to that.
Yeah. To be honest, they're that far in front they can't see the light, so it's not worth flashing them really, is it?
Well, Aaron will be hoping he can blind Artemis once he catches up to the back of him.
Well, that's it, yeah.
So we're getting closer to them. Zach's under pressure from Ross. It all seems fairly calm now. Ross actually pulled out 2 seconds with Pagani, so Ross is showing some very good pace.
Rob.
Doesn't look like Pagani can match it. Did I say Ross or Rob?
Yeah, you said Ross, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rom.
Yeah, Ross is doing a cracking job. Ross is doing a cracking job if he's leading as well.
Yeah, so Rom's pulled out 2 seconds, and it doesn't look like Pagani's got quite as much pace to fight with that, unfortunately for him.
No.
So it's looking like a good race for Rom so far. Now, I don't have time showing up on my screen. I've got everything turned on, so it's making life... Oh, no, I do. Okay. They're back up. So, let's have a look at Rom's times. His fastest is a 23 flat, and then he's dropped back to 10, so he's actually very consistent.
Yeah.
But on lap 3 he had that very quick time, he's just settled back in, and I think that'll be lap 3 once he had got past Dark Bolt, which he decided to push the advantage as much as he could, and he's got in the fastest lap there is. He's just settling back in, holding a steady and consistent pace, and you can see it's working very well for him. He's 2.3 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, I mean Pagani, if you look at Pagani, he's doing 23.8s, 23.7s, fastest 23.6. So he's sort of hemorrhaging time all the way around here, isn't he? And I think Bolt has decided that I've watched the master on how to get round the track, now it's my turn to get past, I think, so...
See, Darbo's not exactly dropping off Pagani, they're both running around the same pace consistently, they both set at 25 on the last lap. Actually no, sorry, Pagani set at 23.8 and Darkbolt set at 23.5, so Darkbolt has more pace than Pagani at this stage of the race.
Yeah.
3 tenths quicker. So Pagani is under serious threat to be dropping down to P3. So I think obviously with the fact we've got 3 races you want to score as high up in order as you can, but then it comes to a fact of you don't want to exactly get too stuck into it and then make a mistake that costs you several positions, because we
like me last night.
Start with Lennon. Yeah, like you last night and you on Tuesday in F1. That Gui corner.
Yes. Yeah.
It's pain in the backside, that corner, can't stop.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely awful corner. Ridiculous.
You touch that curb and then it just spits you off. It's you got to be so precise, and the little tiniest mistake can turn your car around, unfortunately. But
do you know the thing I couldn't? Do you know the thing I couldn't cope with the most was Jeff talking to me when I was trying to concentrate.
He talks in the corners, which is just
it's ridiculous.
I know. I did it in Singapore. I was in the middle of the third sector, and Jeff starts talking about the car in front. I'm thinking, please shut up, shut up.
Well, I threatened him last night. I don't know if he heard. I threatened him last night.
Well, on last year's game, we had that shut up Jeff option. Obviously, you could just say in Jeff in it. I'd be pleased to shut up, but two profane words, and then Jeff at the end, and that actually made him shut up. So I just used that for the whole of the year.
Explain that to your parents, mate.
Yeah. Who's Jeff?
Who's Jeff? And why are you being so rude?
Yeah.
We didn't bring you up like that, Michael. Oh, Spiffy spun.
Tom's turned it around and took Lennon.
Oh, well, what goes around comes around, I suppose, if you look at it that way, doesn't it? So Smithy's down to 10th, but Lennon's made up. He's dropped one, so he's down to 8th.
Well, the thing is with Lennon, he dropped to 14th and he was back up a couple of positions, and then Tom knocked him back once, so I don't think Lennon will be the happiest guy on track.
But I don't think he'll be he won't be the happiest, but he won't have to say a lot, will he?
No, he won't.
He can't really have a go, can he? So
no.
Yeah, he got a bit excited for turn 1. Aaron's made it up to 10th, and Smithy's back down to 11th now.
It's good showing a piece of Aaron.
He's pushing Lee along.
Having a look at the times, it just seemed that Aaron is actually quicker than actually is Aaron quicker. Yeah, Aaron seems quicker the past few laps than Lennon. Obviously, Aaron's having a go at Lee. Good old iron thumbs.
Yep.
Lee's tucking into the slipstream.
Whether that's optional or not, I don't know. Smithy's going around the outside. Oh,
can't quite make it.
No.
No, I remember mentioning last night, it did seem that to get around to make an overtake at the turn 1, that the outside line did tend to be the best option.
Oh, it's a beautiful line round there.
Yeah.
If you can't get to that apex, then yeah, it's really nice. You don't lose that much around it, to be honest. So, and you've got a bit more poke coming out. You can keep the speed up.
Yeah, one of those things, just in general driving, if for turn 1, it's the corner I hate the most on the game, probably. It's one of those things, it's when there's the dip in the curb, do you get what I mean, on the inside of the curb. So you can't exactly run half a car over it, so it's very awkward. If you get 2 tyres over the inside, you have a good chance of throwing yourself into the gravel.
Yeah.
Which I think, for some people it might be a bit tricky, for some might be a great advantage, but you can clearly see that being an advantage for the guys who are pressing the issue to make the move for the outside.
Yeah. Well, we're having a little incident here, but for some reasons Zach, the switchback, is 8.7 off the back, so he's had an incident somewhere, because he was doing pretty well. He was up there, so
he was lucky to not get a penalty for the final corner. A little bit of a cut, but he got off scot-free.
So Rom's up to nearly 6 seconds. Yeah, I mean it's a
commanding race from him so far.
Yeah, I don't want to mention his name, but SBY was a bit like that last night, so the alien. So,
but we saw in the third race with SBY being in the traffic, it was actually quite difficult to get through it. So
yeah,
that might come back to bite Rom a little later on in the race. So you never in the evening. So you never know. Obviously, you can have fantastic pace in the opening race, but as soon as you get put in the traffic with the fact that we've run a reverse grid, it can throw up some difficulties for a driver, especially if they have a commanding pace over everybody else, that seems.
Yeah. I think realistically, I mean, if you're in a place like where Rom is at the moment, you do your best to get as many points as you can in the first 2 races, and then the last ones just pick up as much as you can, and that's the way you've got to look at it.
Yeah, it's almost as if the last race kind of I wouldn't say take it completely as a damage limitation, but somewhat of a damage limitation. Obviously, you want to try and push your way up, but you don't want to overreach it and cause an incident because you're trying as hard as you can to get to the front desperately. So I think with the last race, it's obviously you're going to be more worn out mentally because it's been 2 races, you've already done 30 laps. So you're going to be in a situation where you're more inclined to make those little irrational decisions and then possibly could lead to a mistake. So it's all a thing of how long can you keep your head glued on for, in a way. 6.5 seconds for Ron. Pagani's starting to pull a gap out on Dark Bolt, and Dark Bolt's got a half-second penalty. So Pagani's starting to swing back a little bit, but he's still consistently about half a second off Ron, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, and he's slipping down into the 24s as well. So I think that's where a lot of the time was gone. I think.
Yeah, it probably is because obviously Rom's just set at 22.9.
Yeah.
He's Pagani's a set at 23.5, so it's about a 6/10 gap between.
Yeah. To be honest, he's just set 3 of those. He's decided to push now, has he?
Yeah. He's decided it's not a race, it's a qualifying session. But we've got blue flag. He's leading a little 3-car train for P4. It's himself, Unsafe, and Iggy. I say Unsafe's doing a pretty good job. He's just moved up into GT1. He's fairly far up the grid.
Yeah, 5th ain't a bad place to be.
Not at all, and he's steering down the barrel for P4. He's quite close behind blue flag, and as we've seen, that Peugeot does have a bit of pace in it, so we'll see what Unsafe can do in that Audi TT.
I mean, blue flag picked up, I think was it a win last week or a second?
I believe he did. I know he was very high up the grid and he was close to overtaking somebody at the line, but I can't quite remember who.
If you bear with me, I'll tell you who it was. It was Aaron and Pagani, wasn't it, the winners? Yeah, so he got a nice little second place.
So it was a good races last week from Sai. So we're trying to somewhat keep that up here, but obviously he's got Unsafe all over the back of him, trying to make a little bit of a statement. He's new to this, I wouldn't say league, but they're new to the division, so maybe wanting to make a bit of an impression as he did last season. Obviously he's only got 300 miles in this car, which actually surprises me because by the second race last year he had about 3,000.
Yeah.
He's got this.
Looks like Iggy's catching up with him. So that could be 3 cars again into that battle.
Well, Iggy was actually a little bit closer to Unsafe the last lap. Just dropped back behind Unsafe a little bit.
Yeah, if he's anything like me, he'd be blaming that car.
Yeah, so for Iggy, he's actually 3/10 off last lap. Now, on lap 12 that is. Now on lap 11, Iggy was actually half a tenth quick, actually a tenth and a half quicker.
Yeah.
So it seems like his pace is pole going a little bit. I'm not quite sure. So that's an interesting one. He's starting to close back up to Unsafe, so I think he's about to set another good lap, but he's got a penalty.
Yep. Let's see how Aaron's doing. He's got past City Posh, he's up to 8th. He's fighting his way back. We've got 2 laps left. City Posh ain't going to let him have it though, is he?
No, he's just a bit too far behind before the brakes. I was thinking, is City going to go for a little lunge, but not quite.
No.
Not quite. I'm going to be trying to close that gap up to Lennon. There'll be a 2.2 second gap, so I'm not entirely sure if he can make it, but obviously it's Aaron who's going to give it a go. Well, this battle between Unsafe and Blue Flag, it's only 2.5 tenths separating the two of them. So it's looking like we're going to have a late change for P4.
Is it going to be a sensible pass? Just showing his nose.
Yeah, showing a sign of intention. But Dark Bolt at the moment, he went very deep.
Yeah.
He went into the grab and that's dropped him back a couple of seconds, it looks like. So he was 1.7 behind, 1.7 seconds behind blue flag. And that's starting to bleed down a bit. He's wide again.
Yeah, he's wide again, yeah.
Down to 1.3 now, so...
Oh, yeah. He's looking in his mirrors. He's looking in his mirrors. Yeah.
It's that one mistake sometimes can just catapult into several. I think that's what we're seeing here with Bolton. Obviously, blue flag's almost in the slipstream, and that could actually work out in blue flag's favour.
Now he's in. Yeah, that'll help him with unsafe.
To be able to use that slipstream in a way to defend, and unsafe won't have that straight line advantage that he would have had prior. We can also see that he's so close. Oh, I think unsafe's trying to get side by side. A little bit of contact with the back. He's down the inside, the P4.
Oh, he's caught the inner curve.
And it turns it around.
Oh, that's backed him off a little bit, but that's also helped out Dartbolt as well, because it's just giving him just over a second now.
He's in a position where, obviously, they were in a situation where they were stuck in a little bit of slipstream chain. Unsafe thoughts, right, I've got to try and get away from here. There's an opportunity arise, but just a bit too tight into turn 4.
Oh.
And then just chipped it. Rom Elson rounds in the final corner. 9.5 second lead.
Right, we know he's won. Let's. Oh, Pagani's on the grass.
A lapse of concentration at the end for Pagani, but unsafe all over the back of blue flag.
Here we go.
It's going to be a race to the line.
Yeah.
I don't think he can quite get him. It's very close between the two. Very close.
Very close.
72 milliseconds.
They're probably next to each other having a word. Oh, there we go. They're still having a bit of a ding-dong, aren't they? Even after the line. Aaron did a good job. He managed to pull that back to 9th. City Bosch didn't get him. So,
If an unfortunate race to switch back 28 seconds off off of Ross. The bar, P13, unfortunately. I don't quite know what's happened to Zach, but that's not his usual form.
Just looking at the scars on the car. He's got back and front damage, which you normally get anyway. But wonder where he spun it. Wonder if he spun it.
Do a little mental reset between races.
Yeah.
11 seconds from Ron for the win off Pagani's near bottle.
help him Ron look better. Come on Ron, get rid of that bloody overalls. Japanese overalls, get rid of them.
I'm wondering how much Ron paid Pagani.
Yeah. Yeah. If I let you up into second.
So for the final race we usually have the reverse grid. Now what's the change of the grid for the second race?
There's no change at all, so basically how they finished is how they start.
Okay. I would finish race 1 as I'd start race 2,
yeah, so as you look at the results now, that's exactly the same as what the starting grid will be. So obviously we have the winners and the losers. Obviously Aaron and T Smith all the way down from where they qualified.
For a few people who set a really good qualifying time, they're going to be dropped back because they had a bit of an incident in the first race. So the starting position for race 2, it's going to be quite further down, as Lennon puts a questionable message in the chat. Okay. Lennon being Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a surprise. Yeah.
That's why all of a sudden went quiet mid-sentence.
I'm just glad that Mighty Iggy put sensational before that came up, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been a bit awkward.
Because really we'd be asking questions even more.
Well, a few of these guys are already asking questions, so I think one more won't make too much of a difference.
No, not really. At least there's some apologies going on, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Unintentional. Steve Smith are going wide in front of him. Oh yeah, that's been with Lennon.
Yeah.
Jesus, what do we have to cope with, Carl?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just a good job that Aaron's not doing the stream for this with his Elgato, otherwise we'd have Cube and Pete every 10 seconds.
Oh, blimey, yeah.
I know.
Oh, right, okay, let's go on to views, shall we? Let's just go on to here now. Oh, I've still got it up on there as well. We don't want that.
Lennon lowering the tone of the evening,
Lennon,
as he usually does.
Pack it in. Oh, good. Dark Bolt's not actually making a reference to Lennon. Thank you very much. Oh, lads, just concentrate on driving. Come on. Come on, Lennon, get out there, do some practice. Work out how to go around the first corner properly. Come on.
Yeah, learn not to brake for turn one. Lennon's sorry, Carl.
Yeah, good lad, well played. Now concentrate on your driving. Or else you won't be on the stream anymore.
We would be on the stream, but just for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, we'll just show you crashes. And here's the highlights of the year. So,
just be waiting for whoever the lobby host is to change the grid's order, then we won't have to deal with Lennon's inappropriate messages.
Waiting for Darkbolt to get in his car. That's what we're waiting for.
Got a little bit of practicing. Now me, I'm being a little bit nosy on it. I'm going into the cockpit view just to see what it's like for all the other lads. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Because we all know what I'm like. Now I will say, one of the massive factors in me choosing the Corvette last season was that I liked the look of the cockpit, and another factor was Pagani said I'm going to use it, so you might as well.
Yeah.
So I went for a punt.
You didn't do too bad, mate. You didn't do too bad.
Well, yeah, not really. I mean, City Posh almost put it in the pit wall.
Here we got Pagani saying that quali was a farce. Not going to lie.
Huh.
Huh.
So I don't know if that means in a way of he expected better, or if he was better than he expected. So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, we'll have to get that cleared up. Right, race 2. Here we go. Another 15 laps.
Yep.
So we got exactly the same order as they finished the race before.
So let's have a good look. We'll have Rom and Pagani leading the first row with Darkbolt and Luke Flag contending in the second row. 5 lights are about to go out.
There go the Subarus.
He's up into the lead already.
Those Subarus, they do fly off the line, but that's all they do. And Rom's dropped back to 4th, so...
Yeah, it's a troubled start for Ron, because Pagani's up into 2nd. He's got Iggy on the inside for 3. Now, the outside line works better for the fence in the corner, and it's showing that Pagani has managed to hold P2, but Iggy was trying to find his way through into the next corner for turn 4. He's only a 10th behind.
We've got 3 abreast going into turn 3.
Iggy's still trying to figure a way around past Pagani. You've got the inside of 4 and you're trying the outside of 5 but can't quite make it work. He looks back in.
Looks like everybody made it round.
Yeah, nice clean first lap. We've got both of the Peugeots battling each other. I think that's Rom and... Actually, who's that? Sorry. Rom and Blue Flag.
Unsafe making it.
City Posh.
Yeah.
That's unsafe.
Unsafe down the 14th.
Yeah,
He's got pace.
Unsafe from City Posh.
Yes. Totally. Oh, and City Posh has just thrown himself off the track out of sympathy. So, oh, look at the state of City Posh's car.
Oh, he's bumped Lennon. He's bumped Lennon into the barrier, the penultimate corner. A terrible first lap for City.
Switchback's in the top 10. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, he would have used that interval between races to reset, and he's definitely showing it. He's had a good first lap. He's managed to make the moves where it counts, keep out of any troublesome situations, and that's got him up 4 positions. That be a nice little confidence boost. Just needs to push forward with it.
Yeah. We've got a nice little Lexus sandwich going on here with a nice little Hyundai in the middle.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Ross is trying up the inside, not quite getting it.
I feel like the Hyundai, it's kind of like the Marmite of this division.
Spot on.
Because it's not exactly good.
Yeah, it's
But I must say, for the lads who are running it, they're actually not doing too bad for the car. It's a tricky one to drive. It's not.
Yeah,
it has its moments.
They got one up in third.
We have indeed. We keep pushing the Hyundai up in third now.
Yeah.
From my experience, when when you tortured me with the car, there was races where
you're not going to let that go, are you?
No, I'm not going to let it go. It had the races where it was actually very competitive.
Yeah.
And then it had the races where it was absolutely nowhere. So
yeah, see, I was only thinking the competitive ones. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen in my hands.
No, it's a situation of figuring out where it was competitive and then trying to push the advantage with it. And I think that's going to be a situation for Iggy and Arthurs this season.
Aaron's managed to get up in the fourth. Yeah, see, the thing for me was that the bugbear was that the car felt really good in testing. Got into the races and it was a pile, and then after we finished the season, they did an update on it and improved it.
It's just our luck, isn't it, Carl?
Yeah.
It's just our luck.
So.
And I feel it was kind of like that with Spa in the wet, because if I'm not mistaken, what's the car? It was what an SPY was in.
Oh.
The Ford GT.
Yes, Ford GT.
It got a bit of an advantage, and I heard it was overpowered in the wet. It wasn't by me. It wasn't me making that excuse.
No.
I think that was Pagani saying it to me after the race, and obviously I was fighting tooth and nail to hold them back, to hold SPY back, but just obviously with some cars, as soon as they get through, there's no matter how much fighting you do and how much you push, it's once they got that clean air, it's just wave, because you're not going to see them much anymore.
That's it. You just look at the spray and then there's no spray because there's no car in front of you. It's gone. Right, Dart Bolt, I don't know if you're listening tonight. Just sit there. Go with Pagani so you can pull away. That's all I would suggest. I know he does like to listen every now and again.
Yeah, I do think you're fairly right by saying that, because if he can just hold back, obviously he's not going to be able to push as much. He's not going to have to push to break the slipstream cap that there will be. It's about 7.5 tenths now.
Yeah.
So obviously when he gets in front, he's going to have to try and clear that gap, because if he doesn't have that gap, it'll give Pagani the opportunity to launch an attack again. So if Dark Bolt can just hold behind him for a good chunk of the race, and then as it starts to get to the final stages, turn the whip up, get in front of Pagani.
Yep.
It means that he is in front, but he's got less pressure, because he's not going to be able to defend for all that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to be defending for 15 laps. You want to defend for one. That's it, isn't it? Or maybe one corner.
Because if you're driving with another car in the mirrors, you're using a lot more mental capacity as Dark Bolt cuts the final corner a little bit. Doesn't seem to get a penalty for it though, so you've got to be lucky.
You can get a little bit of a cut on that, but like I say, I think there's a blade of grass that's the marker, and you're just that side. You touch that blade of grass, that's it. You've got it. That's yours. Now they've just pulled out a second in one lap.
But Aaron's actually going down the inside of Iggy, so I feel like that might have something to do with it. Aaron and Iggy must have been having a good little battle, but that's allowable. Need to come through for P4. He's having a go at Iggy.
And he's got him.
So Lee making 10 adjustments through turn 3, and he actually managed to get it done in turn 4.
Yeah.
So fantastic job from Lee. I feel like if Aaron was doing comms for this, we'd be seeing Rolo right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So the gap pretty stable between Dark Bolt and Pagani. I don't expect that to change.
Yeah, I think Bolt's been listening, so I think the good lad has listened, and he's just behaving. Iggy taking a little.
Sorry
We've got blue flag on the back of Iggy as well now, so.
was almost a bit of contact between Iggy and Lee. Looked like Iggy was sticking his nose down last seconds, and he's actually got back through as Lee makes a little mistake, gets us a penalty.
And yeah, it's
he cut. There's just the corner just after the hairpin, cut it that little bit too tight, bounced the car over the other edge of the track, and then got himself a little penalty to make matters worse. And that's going to allow blue flag to push off the P5.
Yeah, it's
Now this is the thing, because blue flag he's gone to the outside straight away. Now, normally around any other track, I think, why you're going to the outside, but obviously around here, a better attacking line is to hold the outside. But I'm surprised that we haven't seen as many people really defend with the outside line.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. I haven't seen a lot of that, and I thought you'd see quite a lot more, because there's no doubt a lot of these guys would have been watching last night just to see how all the GT2 lads handle it. Any little tips they can get, any little advantages they can figure out from it.
Yeah.
None of them are seeming to figure out that the outside line might just be the better way to defend it.
I think the best way to defend that first corner is you take the inside, but just don't go to the apex. Take it wider.
Give the car less room to work with, but not too little room to a point where you're carrying them onto the gravel.
Yeah, give them space, but only enough that they can just about squeeze through. Yeah. Right, so Pagani's pulled out a second. Yeah.
Oh, he has.
And Aaron's catching up with Bolt.
My expert analysis, it looks like Pagani's pushing the throttle a little harder.
Narrowing it down to what you've just said, I mean, it's quite complicated in layman's terms. Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, that was the advice I was giving you.
Yeah, but you were doing it. You was doing it during the race, and I wasn't reading it. That was the problem.
Yeah.
You should have phoned me up or text messaged me, because it would have come up then.
I'll call you mid-race, Carl. We'll see how that goes.
Give me a ring.
If you go into a wall, it's all my fault.
You might as well ring me, because everybody else rings me. Oh, was you racing? Yeah, don't worry about it. Was I ringing you in qualifying?
Yeah, when I lined out.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
At Maggie.
Yeah.
I thought, I just saw the phone number come up and thought, oh, it's one of those. Were you in a car crash recently? Then I just staged over recently. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And you went, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But I don't need to claim for it.
Yeah. Told me insurance to go up. The gaps are starting to pull out for the first four. Pagani's got a 1.2 to Darkbolt. Darkbolt's got a 3.2 to Aaron. And Aaron 3.2 to Iggy. Rom's not too far off Iggy. It's only about half a second, I'd say. We got Lee under threat from Lennon. Only 10.5 separating the two. Lennon tucked right up in that slipstream. He's pulled out.
Yeah, he's gone to the right hand side. He's not going to make the same mistake as he did in race one. Just nosed in front of him, but he's still got to get round that corner.
It looks like he just about gets through in front.
Yeah. Oh, he's hit the curb. He's hit the curb. Oh, tank slapper. Oh, that curb is a killer.
Yeah, it is. I bottled a win there last season. Granted, I will say the car was drastically different in the second stint than it was in the first, but that's my excuse. Yeah, unfortunate for Lennon, he was looking good to try and get that P7 off Lee, who's made life just a little bit harder. He's got 3.9 seconds to make up to Lee.
I'm just having a look at the moment at Switchback and Unsafe, the two lads that went up from GT2. And yeah.
Switchback will be hoping to lead Unsafe for as long as he possibly can, but Unsafe, he's rapidly closing up. Sticking his nose there just to say, look, I'm going to come through soon, so get ready.
Yeah, here I come.
It's a little warning shot. I think sometimes at these races, if you're fairly similar pace to somebody in front of you, you want to try and get in the head a little bit, you know, just put your nose towards the inside just every now and again, just show that you have got the intention, you know, give them something a little else to focus on.
Yeah.
Obviously make yourself a little unpredictable.
I think we might see a challenge.
You might indeed.
Straight for the outside.
Yeah.
And he's just in front, cutting. Yes.
Not quite much.
Oh,
Artemis.
Artemis is.
Oh, he's collected
Switchbacks. Yeah. Ah.
Unfortunate for him.
Unlucky, mate. Keep your head down. Keep going.
We know he's got the pace in him. He was showing it last season. He'd done a fantastic job to take fourth in the overall drivers' championship. So just, obviously, he knows he's got that pace. It's just a matter of adapting, getting used to it. And obviously, he's going to be in a little bit of a slump tonight. It's not working out the best for him, but he's going to have to try and pull himself out of it as he kicks up a little bit of gravel into the face of Artemis. Artemis, I don't think he's got much paint on the front bumper of his car. And the same on his rear.
So, lucky they all look clean for race 3, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed.
Right, Dartbolt's adding up his penalties because he didn't get rid of the last one that he got for cutting that corner, and he's just got himself another one. So
he's got 5 tenths. It's dropped out 3 tenths into turn 1.
Yeah.
So Aaron's actually 1.1 seconds behind Dartbolt, so he'll be.
He's done a good job of keeping up, hasn't he? And catching up, should I say?
It's looking like it could be a 1-2 for the Renault boys for the second race tonight. If Aaron keeps up this pace, he's closing the gap.
He's got 5 laps left to do it in. Yeah, Aaron won't sit behind.
Aaron's not the type of person to sit behind. Obviously, he's a big admirer of Gui carp, so obviously when Aaron gets the chance, he likes to go full Gui. But he's got 5 laps to make up a second, so obviously, ideally, if he wants to spread it out across the 5 laps, he'll be trying to gain 2 tenths a lap. But obviously, he's going to want to try and have a bit quicker than that, not leave it all down to the last lap.
Yeah, he's flashing his lights again. He's pressing extra heavy with those thumbs.
Yeah. Aaron's sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a good job he doesn't wear glasses. Otherwise, it'll be missing them.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah.
Evening, Casey.
Sorry?
Just talking to the people in YouTube. It's this new online thing where they upload videos. I don't know if you've seen it at all.
No, I actually haven't.
No. So we're just having a chat then, are we?
Yeah. I don't know. I was paying attention to the chat, so I didn't fully hear you, Carl.
Actually, I'm a little bit concerned because Casey's first message was hell, which is probably about right.
Yeah.
How are we doing with Iggy? Right, blue flag's on the back of Iggy now. So
it's 5 tenths. And Aaron's 3 tenths on the back of that bolt.
Here we go.
Unsafe is just got past switchback. Oh, actually, switchbacks close back up to him a little bit.
Oh, we've got Dartbolt. Dartbolt doing a switchback on Aaron. Not quite. Not quite. And another one.
He's trying to come back at him because he doesn't want to let Aaron off easy.
Nah. You can have
we all know Aaron. He has an obsession with switchbacks.
You can have the place, but you're going to have to fight for it, mate.
Yeah.
No, that's sensible. He didn't make it.
In the crash, it's all good.
He didn't make it easy for him, but you know, he hasn't ended up in the walls, so that's the main thing. Either of them, so that's good.
This is a situation where Aaron doesn't make it easy for himself, so it's a different situation where someone's not making it easy for Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there.
Any chance I get to take a shot at Aaron, you know I'm going to take it.
You know what? You know why I invited you tonight, didn't you?
Yep. If Aaron's racing, someone's going to try and get me on comms. So let's see. Both Iggy and Blue Flag have their own penalty to deal with. But Blue Flag has more of a penalty than Iggy does. It's 2 tenths higher than Iggy's.
Yeah, they're going to lose that when they get down to the hairpin.
Yeah.
Or lose the majority of it anyway.
I think. Where have they gone? I've lost them.
Oh.
So professional from me. But I actually thought Iggy would have lost all of his penalty. Well, not quite.
No. He's just got a 1 second penalty. He's just got a penalty. He got a penalty. Yeah. Blue Flag tapped the back of him, and it's given him a 1 second penalty, which we ignore because it's absolute rubbish. So, we're witnesses to that.
Swearing in Austrian right now.
Yeah, just don't try and lose it, mate. Just keep going. As long as you finish with only 1 second penalty, that's not a problem, I don't think. And then the places can be redone.
Well, I think what it is, it's a couple of corners, you just drop it naturally. The penalty just starts to drop naturally, so it'll be open that the penalty drops itself mostly, but blue flag. Down the inside, goes to lunge, who's got through? I don't know if that was Iggy actually trying to drop the penalty, maybe.
I think it was. I mean,
quite a lot.
He managed to get rid of the official penalty that he had, and he's managed. He's trying to lose the penalty. Keeps ghosting, so he's trying to lose the penalty.
Yeah, I think he's dropped it down to 8/10 now, but he's doing it in a way that he's not losing a lot of time to sight.
Yeah.
For blue flag. So he's going fairly smart about it.
See, I wouldn't have bothered with it. I think I would have been onto the stewards at the end of the race to say, "Knock that one penalty off of me. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Not my fault."
Getting some DMs after the race.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have done.
Yeah. You know, I say that I was the same with Pagani a good 4 seasons ago. Something would go bad, I'd screaming the DMs to Pagani, and then I go, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
They go back to normal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Paul sitting in a dark room going, "Oh my God, why does everybody keep ringing me up? Keep messaging me."
Paul was in the corner shaking.
Yeah. Nervous wreck. Sweating.
Yeah. I had to come back to him with a coffee.
Iggy down the inside. He's lost more of that penalty.
Yeah, down to 4/10 now. Can't quite get it down the inside. Blue flag goes the outside.
Yeah, I think he caught the inside of the curb as well, so that's made him sort of jiggle about a bit. Nice little race we got going on here.
Yeah, both Aaron and Darkbolt. Now, I got very confused a minute because I thought Aaron was right up the back of Pagani. I was like, oh my God, there's a battle for the lead. But unfortunately, no, it's just Aaron and Darkbolt.
Yeah, can we have different colour cars, please?
Because Aaron win. Oh, life flashed between my eyes. Because we all know I have a slight bias towards Pagani.
Just a tad, I mean.
Yeah, just a tad. Yeah, I don't come into most streams that is racing with the hashtag Team Pagani. I totally don't do that.
No.
No.
No, not at all. No. That'd be getting up in a minute, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I imagine myself.
Lennon's running his usual 7th place.
Is indeed. Usually that's Phoebe's place in GT2, so I think
that is, yeah.
Lennon's the Phoebe of GT1.
Yeah.
He sticks himself to P7. Now, I must say, I'm quite proud of myself tonight. I haven't actually managed to jinx anybody. Now,
yep.
I will say, last night I actually jinxed Pete just with my mind.
Yes, I did notice that. I did notice that, and yeah. It's you're perfecting the skills, aren't you?
Yes. I messaged Pete after that to apologise.
Yeah. What?
Like, sorry.
Can I just ask
like,
why have you put hashtag Team Pagani?
Shit. Don't take it the wrong way.
No.
There's meant to be Team Pagani.
At least it's not 2 E's.
Yeah. There we go. Correct. There we go. First up.
Rightio.
Situation.
Switch.
Input series.
Switchbacks having a nice little battle with Artemis, which is nice.
Free way for P4. It is indeed. We've got a free way battle for P4. Blue flag, Iggy, and T Smith.
So there we go.
The race. Aaron second. Darkbolt third.
Nice little.
It's a good battle at the end. It's got fairly close, but it looks like blue flag just about leads them to the line.
Smithy's backed off. Oh no, he's over the line.
That's Iggy and T Smith and P6. So switch back still in a battle with Artemis. Couldn't quite get him into the final corner, but he's still going to be in that slipstream.
Unsafe shows why he's called unsafe.
Yeah.
And
close to the line between Switchback and Artemis.
Unlucky, Zach. Good drive, mate. Oh, there we go. Straight into the back of unsafe. Can I just point out the viewers that? Can I just point out that the AI computer takes over once you go over the line, so any incidents afterwards is not down to aggressive driving. All the incidents for aggressive driving will be before the finish. So
yeah, sounds alright.
There's Pagani. He's got his best suit on. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Got my name on his crash helmet. What a lovely bloke he is. Yeah, Team Pagani. Yeah, I agree.
Well, Zom's in the chat. Fairly late, Zom.
Evening. It's nearly morning, mate.
Yeah. No, I think Zom might be in a different time zone.
Yeah. Talking about Zom, I did a lovely little overtake on Zom yesterday. After the hairpin, you go up the hill, and then you've got the three left-handers. And I just nipped up on the inside of him through those. Got a lovely bit of traction, and off I went. Sorry, Zom, I had to say that.
Proud of yourself.
I am. And then I crashed in the last race to give Zom a third place, and he fluffed it. Oh, mate. I was gutted for you. Not quite as gutted as I was for me, but I was gutted for you.
Always be gutted for the guy in front, but be more gutted for yourself.
Yeah. I felt sorry for you. I was absolutely right off for me.
Gutted for myself. So race 3 be a nice little reverse grid that should, if I'm correct, pull Switchback up into P2.
Yes.
So indeed, so Switchback will have to be fed up the grid. You won't have to worry about little incidents in front of him that he'll have to avoid getting caught up in. So
yeah,
it gives Zach that extra little bit of breathing space on the start. You don't have to deal with I was going to say 20 different cars, but there's only about 14. You have to deal with an extra 14 cars having their own little fights and getting held up by that. So I think that's a little advantage Switchback can take from this into race 3. Try and get a couple good first laps in.
Yeah.
See what advantage he can pull and see how long he can hold it for.
He's just got to concentrate. I think it's a point of that it is qualifying laps really, and I think you've got to forget about everybody else. Obviously you know they're there, but just concentrate on it. The braking points, accelerating, apexes, you just got to concentrate on them for every single lap. So
and it's also one of those things is where you'll have somebody behind you. It's perfectly natural that, obviously, because it's not a game, well, it's not obviously the real thing, obviously, with the drivers, and not constantly in the thinking, oh my god, someone's behind me. On a game, you've got more of that time to think, oh, someone's behind me, and then it takes up more space, and then it starts to distract you a little bit.
Yeah.
So, obviously, one of those things you'll be wanting to try and do is acknowledge, okay, there's a car behind them, but then think, okay, I've got to get this braking point nice and right, get this turn in correct, hit the apex nice and get the power out as quick as I can. Just focus on the individual stages of the corner to get the best run through each corner that you can. Just taking it corner by corner, phase by phase, and not really spooking yourself.
Yeah.
And that would be a thing where, obviously, it helps you deal with it a lot more. And I feel like with that season break I had a couple of seasons ago, and I came back, I actually felt 10 times more confident around other cars than I did prior.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Sometimes just taking that little break, even if it's for maybe a week. Don't practice for a week, and then come into the race, have a chilled out mindset about it. It could be a good little thing. So it's one of those
you're not building up pressure throughout the week, then, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Can I just point out something? I don't know. Can you look on the YouTube screen? Can you watch it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I've got the streamer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you look at the mechanic on the right-hand side, the one that looks like he's holding his marbles, is it me or does he look like he walks like in the red on the right-hand side? There's two of them, but the one to the left of the right. Is it like he's Quasimodo or is it Frodo from? You know what? Is it not Frodo? What's the name of the bald-headed thing in the Lord of the Rings? You know that?
Smeagol.
Yeah.
Smeagol.
Schmoogel, yeah.
My precious.
Yeah, no, look,
Yeah,
look at him go. He's grabbed the race suit, he's in there.
Yeah. It's an interesting pose.
Yeah.
I must admit.
There's a few of them like it.
Yeah, I'll be hoping someone can come through the pits to give him the ring.
Yeah.
I won't try and do the voice because I'll just sound like a complete idiot.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Really don't do it. So, 30-second warning.
He is indeed. Pagani is giving a little wave in front of City Posh. I think that's his way of saying hello.
Aaron's just put a little message out there.
Yeah.
Everyone, please be sensible. Oh, and they're sensible.
Yeah. Pagani giving a little wave on the street to say hello to City Posh, and that was kind of like me last season. I would think I was like that with you in between races. If I come up to you on track, I'd wave behind you or flash my lights like mad.
Yeah.
Just say hello, Carl. So Pagani doing that with City. Ross and switch back on your front row.
Yeah, I haven't got the best angle.
No, you never get the best angle. You never do.
Trying to get all the cars in. There we go. Minus Pagani.
A good start both from Ross and Zach, but actually a better one from Artemis because he's in Ross's slipstream. He'll be looking down the inside of turn 1. Can't quite get it done.
Lee Cole sliding up the inside.
Lee Cole sliding through a corner. Can't be.
Yeah.
No, where's Lee?
Must have tripped on one of his thumbs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll have own six-pack. So Aaron and Pagani both down in both P13 and 14, so they haven't been able to make as much inroads so far on lap 1. Aaron's trying to get past Lennon.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for the first few corners just to iron themselves out.
Yeah. So it was almost 3 wide into that hair. Oh, it is 3 wide into the hairpin. Lee called down knife. Iggy gained a position on, I believe that was Dark Bolt. So a good little move from Iggy to nip it down the inside, making a 3 wide for the hairpin. Maybe on the back of unsafe Lee, so he's dropped 2 positions from the start. He started P4, he's now down into 6th.
Lee Cole's got a 0.4 penalty at the moment.
Oh, T Smith massively caught in the final corner. That's got to be a penalty. Yeah, half-second penalty for Tom.
Yeah, Lee's gone up to 1.4.
So Lee's got his own little collection going on.
Yeah, isn't he?
Zach looking around the outside, but just burst a little early. Doesn't want to go for the move just yet. So we've got Artemis trying to make his way past Ross. Switchback's just in this little position when he's at the back. He can't figure out a way to get through. But he's actually switched back. He's got past Ross. It's a good little move from him. Good move, Zach.
Up to 2nd, well played. T Smith having a little look.
Yeah, T Smith's in 3rd. He's practically got rid of his penalty. Ross has got a 10th stance penalty. That unsafe all over the back of the Brit. Defending the inside force and unsafe to go the long way around.
Oh, Iggy,
very wide.
He's out on the gravel.
Don't know if that might have been a little bit of contact at the back or if he just overcooked it a little bit. So that's very unfortunate for Iggy. It's going to cost him a couple of positions in a couple of seconds. Oh, punchy move from unsafe.
Yeah.
Into the final corner.
Yeah,
to get past Tom.
just bang him out of the way.
We've got 5 cars all within a second here on the straight.
That's it.
So it's very close. Let's see, China's best tuck into that slipstream with Tom. He's got Ross trying to make it 2 wide in the turn, but can't quite get it.
We've got sort of 4 batches of cars at the moment. You've got the 2 lads out front. You've got this group here. And there's another 2 groups behind, so it's split up quite quick.
So you got some good, decent battles here.
Unsafe just catching that curb on the inside again.
Some of these kids. Oh, he's in first. Good job from him. I didn't catch that move. But fantastic for switchback.
Let's hope it gives him a bit of confidence.
Hopefully it does. He's got a couple of tenths lead. To try and see if he can push that gap just a little bit more in this final sector.
Looks like he's driving the lines.
He's getting to 10th. This is the switchback we like to see.
Yep. He can win round here. He did it last season, so he should be able to do it. There's nothing stopping him apart from himself.
Did Zach win here? Did Zach win here last season?
Yeah, I think he won here last season, didn't he?
Did he? Did we run this layout last season?
Oh, no. Sorry, season before. Season before.
The season before.
Yeah.
Got very confused.
Oh, he's picked up a 0.5. That won't matter too much. He'll get rid of that.
Yeah,
nothing to worry about.
It'll come off during the corners. Let's see. There's Artemis diving it around the outside. Oh, very close between the 2.
And he's up on that curb again. You think you'd learn from the first race, wouldn't you, in the second race where you did it? Artemis has dropped down to 4th. Michael, can you tell your mother to shut up, please?
Yes.
in the politest way. Did she say, Michael, have you done your bedroom yet?
No.
Oh, right.
I will say my dog is a right pain in the ass. That's a story for another day.
Another day. We'll do that at the start of the races next time, rather than leaving it till the last one. I feel it could be a long story.
Yeah, I'll just swear at my dog in qualifying, it'll be solved. So Zach having to deal with T. Smith. Tom's only 2.5 tenths behind. Tom will be looking to put a bit of pressure on us. Actually, Tom's going to gain himself the penalty.
Zach's nearly got rid of his. Zach just picked up another one. Yeah.
They're all picking up penalties in that final quarter. It's just so easy to do it. Zach not putting up too much of a fight. I actually kind of think he let Tom through there.
I think he did, because I think he was trying to get rid of his penalty, but Tom's gone wide. He's still on track now, but Pagani's put in the fastest lap.
Oh, I was moving about there. 3 wide into 4. Just had side practically having to cut the corner a bit. I got very hairy. So it was Aaron in that battle, not Pagani. It's Pagani. Pagani's in 12th.
Artemis has gone.
Sorry?
And he's still spinning. Artemis is spinning. There he goes.
Oh, unfortunate for him. That's him down to 14th, unfortunately. Zach's still over the back of T. Smith. He's not all over the back, but he's still quite close to him. He's in the slipstream range. He actually got a better run through that left-hander there. I feel this left-hander they've just come through then. I actually feel it's quite an important corner.
Yes.
If you can't get that run right, if you've got to lift off through it, it kind of messes your breaking point up a little bit for that final corner to come through, the one that's very easy to gain a penalty. Because if you think, okay, I can wait just a little bit later, you might overshoot a little bit, and then sometimes you might slow it down a bit too much, then you're bleeding time all the way down the straight. So,
and plus it pulls you into the inside on that first part of that corner as well. Yeah. And then that can throw you wide onto the outside, which will then give you a penalty.
It just tightens up quite a lot, that corner. It's a deceiving corner, so it's, you have to, obviously on this you don't drive as much off field, you drive quite a bit off sight. So you're going to follow the corner to the inside, and you're going to think the corner's going to end earlier than it does, and all of a sudden it tightens sharper. You've either got to lift off or tap the brake. And
the thing is, there's no realistic braking point. There's no marker there to tell you where to brake.
So you have to come up with your own one, really.
Yeah, and I found that there's, just before you get to the corner, there's a small crest, and the tarmac is just slightly lighter, and that's my braking point every time. But so it took me about 110 laps to find that.
Yeah.
but it is there.
Yeah. For that corner, obviously for the final corner that they're coming up to now, I use my braking pointers. I notice a little bit of a diff. It's usually where the curb starts, just before. For me, I notice a little bit of a difference in the armcore barrier. Besides, I tend to use that as a braking point. And sometimes it works, well, most of the time it works, and then sometimes I balls it up.
Yeah.
And then I mess up the final corner completely, so I absolutely hate that corner.
Well, I always like to go and see what YouTubers come up with for their braking points, just to see what they come up with and if there's one that's noticeable. And that, coming into that last corner, someone actually uses the boards that are on the right hand side, not the ones on the actual Armco, the ones that are in the field. Now, I'm not going to be looking at that on the right hand side while I'm turning left. I don't understand why you would have that as your marker board, but that's what people do. Oh, dart bolts round. Dart bolts round.
Oh, where's he going to drop down to? Pagani's low for the back of Viggy. That's dark one into P13 now.
So we've got Subarus in 12th and 13th, and our Hyundai back in 14th. Unsafe's up into second.
It is a Hyundai, so I wouldn't be awfully surprised. It's not the best of guns.
No.
My D to turn the sub back off, god damn it, there we go. So T Smith leading the way 1.2 seconds to unsafe. Now Switchback's in P3 is doing a good job. Switchback's 8/10 off unsafe, and City Posh Blue
has just cut that corner amazingly.
Yeah.
That was like there was no corner there at all.
I think I'm actually not too sure. I think City Posh might be slightly colourblind to green, because I don't think he saw the grass. He's just driving like it was tarmac.
Yeah, this tarmac's rough, isn't it? And very stringy.
Yeah, I think City Posh be going through thinking, bloody hell, this tarmac's bouncy.
Good to see the two BMWs up there. Really nice to see that. I see that Zom's got a couple of new liveries for them for next week.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So, I'm just reading it here on the YouTube chat. He's just saying that he's got two for next week, so... Excuse me.
He has indeed.
That hairpin corner at the bottom, too tight on that throws the car up in the air. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, City Posh drifting round that corner.
So let's see. Unsafe's right up the back of T Smith right now. 3:10 separating the two. Lap 8 of 15. So Unsafe taking the fight to the triple champ. As much as I hear.
Fastest lap as well.
Champ. I know, yeah. It's a good job from. That's Lennon who's got the fastest lap now.
Oh, sorry, it's Lennon, yeah. Lennon.
Yeah.
Blimey, Lennon.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, why are you back there, Lennon, if you can do a fast lap?
We're going to have to do a blood test on Lennon after this race.
I think so.
I don't believe it.
Has he been taking his dog's medication or something like that, has he? I don't know what he's been doing.
Yeah.
So Unsafe up the inside. Oh, he's pushing hard.
He's pushing Tom hard. They're going to be trying to find a way through soon, but I won't lie, we've got Aaron up into P4, that's good. It's good for Aaron. But we go back down. Pagani's in 9th.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
Best in race.
Yeah, he's
better from him. Now, part of me wants to get the PlayStation app on my phone and just text Pagani to push the throttle a little harder.
Yeah, I'd leave it for the moment if I were you. I think he might be oh, Aaron's just cut both corners.
Oh, Aaron. Hope that might be a second penalty.
Yeah, he hit the inside wall. Yeah, half a second, that's right.
Just the 5/10.
Yeah.
Well, in the Nürburgring race, I actually got a message both by Aaron and Pagani calling me a ball.
Nice.
Which was not very nice.
Nothing like the senior members of this fine institute that we're members of to do such a thing.
Absolutely disgusting.
I know. I blame the parents.
The prompt came, yeah, definitely. The prompt came up on the TV to say, The prompt came up on me telly to say, "Oh, do you want the TV to turn off? You have performed an operation for a while." And I was coming to YouTube, and I thought, I'm not bloody pausing it. I thought, I'm going to hold it through and hope I can get through. I didn't. I didn't. I went to the roll. And then onto the street, I had a lovely message from both Aaron and Pagani. And part of me was close to pausing the game and sending them some expletives back. I wasn't happy. So I spent the next 10 minutes angry, pushing on an aim ring, and actually worked out well for me because I went 2 seconds quicker than the previous lap. Well, my previous fast.
I'm just looking at Switchback here. I really want him to keep third, but I do like to see Aaron do well. I know you don't.
Not really.
Well,
yeah,
you know. He's family, isn't he? I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Well, like family.
You're kind of forced to root for him.
He's sort of family without the blood bit.
Yeah. No, it's a better situation for me. I've only had to deal with him for about 3 years.
Aaron slid it up the inside.
He hasn't teased, but he hasn't got the position.
No, he hasn't. He's just had a back, and now City Posh is on the back of Aaron.
I was going to say, he hasn't got the position, but he's about to lose one.
Yeah. It was a bit of a tasty lunge there, wasn't it? He's just tapping Switchback and give him a flash of the lights. Don't let him put you off, fella.
Oh, Aaron, don't!
Oh.
Aaron's raising my blood pressure.
Yeah, and Switchbacks, I should think. He's got round the outside of him.
Oh, unfortunate for Switchback, but he's still got time to come back at him. His teammate City Posh is all over the back of them as well. Freeway battle for third.
Yeah. Get a good run coming up here. Oh, front. Oh. Just saw that.
Oh, unsafe. Trying it around the outside of T-Smith, the penultimate corner, but can't quite make it work. But Tom almost running wide, dipping a tire on the grass. Just about on circuit, getting close between the two. Tom cuts the corner. So that's making life ever so easier for unsafe. I don't... Oh, he has. Tom's got a penalty.
Oh, they're rubbing. Oh, they're rubbing.
They are. They're rubbing. If they rub anymore, the doors are going to be on fire.
Yeah, 140 mile an hour and they're rubbing. Aaron's very wide on that first corner. Like, scraping the gravel wide. Switchback's managed to get away from City Posh. And he's not letting Aaron go. Good lad. Well played.
Definitely pushing Aaron.
Yeah. Go on, Switchback. He'll make a mistake. Go on, keep going.
I think you know that all too well, Carl.
Yeah.
But Tom's still just about holding it in front of unsafe. He has got that 2/10 penalty. Looks like unsafe is trying to go for the Switchback. Couldn't quite make it work. Still contact with the back of Tom's car. It's getting close between the two. Aaron's there now. It's almost a 4-way battle for the lead. It's getting very interesting. Now the top 4 are all within a second and a half of each other. So this is all very good to watch. Oh, Aaron pushing unsafe through the final corner.
Yeah.
Zach must have been watching that through the final corner thinking, bloody hell!
Yeah. Oh no!
Yeah. Oh no!
Sorry, Zach.
I can't believe it. Nearly went Irish for a minute.
We shouldn't take the... Yeah.
Well, I'm always in the chat whenever Pagani makes contact going, oh, there's contact!
Yeah.
Lennon trying to find a way through City. He was very close to making contact with the back of him.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Aaron for a moment because I just got a feeling that something's going to go slightly wrong in a minute.
Yeah, Aaron's going door to door with unsafe. Unsafe's going defensive to the airpin.
Switchback. There he goes. See him lining that one up. And he's done it. Yeah. Obvious. Oh, totally obvious. But it's let Smithy get away. He's got 1.5 nearly on him. 1.3.
It's difficult to get it, but I wouldn't say he can't do it. Now let's just see if Zach can get unsafe on the run after turn one. There will be a little slip change.
Yeah.
Stream chain.
Easy for you to say.
No. I'm Scouse, everything's harder to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we invented English, just to ruin you lot. So.
Yeah. I struggle to say my own name.
Unsafe round the outside, he's taken that place back. It's a good little scrap, this is.
Now, we all know unsafe's partial to his end of race scraps for podium positions.
Yes.
I've pinned in a few of them with him.
Yeah, yeah.
When he's racing side by side, especially at the end of the race, I mean, it's very clean. It's always a pleasure to race with him. But sometimes there can be little lapses of judgment, and he'll tag the back of you. I think I got a little bump off him when we were doing Austria in the wet. I wanted to cry. I was looking for a good P3, and in practice I was a second down. I was the second down on him, and I was 2/10 of quicker in the race.
There you are, there's that overtake up the inside.
Yeah,
Aaron's just done it, yeah.
Yeah.
Tried the first switchback, didn't work.
Fourth.
Yeah. Which means they are letting Smithy get away. Oh.
Tom's gained half a second this lap. Now Zach, he's only got one more lap to try and get this podium back, and I'm really hoping he can figure out some way to get past unsafe.
Yeah. If not, fourth's a good spot. It's good points. He needs those.
Oh, definitely.
But
safe down the inside, hitting the brakes.
Ruin up there, and he's in the gravel. He's on the gravel. Come on, Zachy. There we go. That's your calling card, fella. Right.
Code brown for unsafe there.
Yeah. New trousers, please.
Yeah. You nearly had a brown out.
Yeah. Just what they're doing there a bit. Let's see what we're going on back here for a second.
It's close between City Posh and Blue Flag. There's not an awful lot going on a bit further down. The gap is starting to form with those. Ooh, Blue Flag down the inside of City Posh. City Posh looking to try and go. Oh,
he's got good pace, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got good pace coming up that hill.
Thought City Posh was going to go for the switchback for a minute.
Then we've got Lennon in there as well.
Unsafe is still all over the back of Aaron. Is this going to be the photo finish with Aaron? He has quite a lot of them.
Aaron's flashing his lights to his family and friends.
I don't think that was on purpose.
No.
T. Smith takes the win, unfortunately. Got Aaron in P2 with unsafe. Just half a tenth behind him. That is Zach in P4. Fantastic race for Zach.
City Posh wipes out on the wall. Mighty Iggy. Lee comes in with a penalty. Ross decides to do a drive-through.
Yeah.
And
with Artemis and Bolt.
Oh, Bolt. You've got to get over the line first before you do that, Bolt. Come on.
I don't think he knows what the line is.
Back it up, fella. Back it up, fella. That's it. He's done.
I think he thought the line was a bit closer.
Nah, that didn't work, did it?
For Dapples there.
Yeah.
Tom with a champagne ad on the top of his helmet.
Oh, I thought that's what he was going to call his daughters when he has kids. Moe and Chandelier. No. Oh.
So that's a fantastic race for Switchback in race 3, I must say.
Brilliant.
Very happy to see him up into P4. He was struggling a bit in the first two races, but he actually managed to come back fairly well at the end.
Where is the little Scottish fella? Can't see him for looking. Is he left already? No, he ain't. There he is. There he is.
No, he's there. A fantastic couple of races there.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We have to give him a pat on the back.
Oh,
he struggled last week. He struggled in the first two races, but he managed to do it pretty good.
You know, when you're struggling like that, it's easy to just mentally clock out and go, "Oh well, I can't be bothered." You know, I'm not doing good all these races, and then he's come back and he's got P4, and it looked like he was in a good battle for second.
Yeah,
but it was definitely fantastic race from tonight.
It's a major improvement, because if you actually look in the first two races, he was like 30 seconds behind, 20 seconds behind the last car, not behind the leader, but was behind the last car, and he's managed to keep it up there. But on that note, I think it's about time we say goodbye. Thank you very much, Michael, for coming in. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Always a pleasure.
And have a good weekend, everybody. And racing starts again next week. So we'll see you then. Cheers.